need to check with the union first.
Yeah, we do need to check with the union. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Backyard Musings, broadcasting live from Apple Valley. I'm Steve.
I'm Scott.
Thank you for joining us today. We have checked with our union. We made some changes. You probably
I guess we did.
Look at that wind, man. It's taking it.
It's very windy today.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Blowing the storm out that we had.
So if you probably read on our channel, we changed the description. After 10 months, we found our niche, science and technology. We like science. Your dad was a JPL rocket professor.
He wasn't a rocket scientist.
Engineer.
He was a mechanical engineer.
That's what, engineer.
But he worked for Jet Propulsion Laboratory.
Yeah, JPL.
But he also worked for Lockheed and a company years ago called Rocketdyne, Marquardt. So
he's a science guy.
All rocket stuff and aeronautical
I think it's fascinating. We've done some really good, like remember when Ukraine took that car, hydrogen, and fixed it up to be a vehicle-borne IED that just that's technology.
That's
anthropology, chemistry. What we did with the chloramine, we got positive comments on that. So we're changing our now. We'll do special editions, right? When
we have not given up on politics just because our guy is now going to be in the White House. So.
Right. So we'll have special editions, and we're going to go twice a day. We're following the lead from our buddy Pinball. He does twice a day. And eventually we'll probably do a free-for-all, like live thing like he does too. I got to ask him the dynamics of that, how he does that. He'll break it down.
We've done a couple of those, right?
Live? No.
Well, I mean, not live, but I mean, where we've had no notes.
We
just freelance. So.
Yeah, but the live is like back and forth with the people who are, you can see the comments. You talk. It's a free form, with people are.
Maybe get your neighbor to be on that show. He's a.
Okay. He puts the double B in stubbornness. You know what I'm saying?
It's all good. Okay.
Here we go. This is a very interesting scoop. This happened last week. We've got to talk about this. On Thursday, the Ukrainian city of Dnipro was hit by a Russian airstrike, which eyewitnesses described as unusual. That's an interesting way to put it. Triggering explosions that went on for 3 hours, obviously much like Toropets, like we talked about Toropets like a couple months ago. The target must have been like some type of munitions, explosive producing facility, industrial area. That's what they said, industrial, but they didn't go into that. Hold that thought. The attack included a strike by a missile so powerful that in the aftermath, Ukrainian officials said it bore the characteristics of an intercontinental ballistic missile, an ICBM. Western officials were quick to deny this, saying that such a strike would have triggered a nuclear alert in the U.S.
Well, maybe not with our current administration. But
idiocracy.
Yeah.
Want to know more?
All right, here we go. Hours after the strike, Russian President Vladimir Putin, in a TV address, said that Russia had launched a new conventional intermediate range missile with the code name Oreshnik, meaning hazel tree in Russian.
Hazel tree. Okay.
Interesting. Putin said that the weapon traveled at a speed of Mach 10.
It's fast.
Or 2.5 to 3 kilometer per second. 10 times the speed of sound. That's fast. That's pretty fast.
Yeah. Mach 10. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty fast. Adding that there are currently no ways of counteracting this weapon.
Is that bluffery? I don't know.
That's quite a stand to take.
Hyperbole?
On that. Yeah, we'll see about that.
I don't know. Yeah.
He said that a major military industrial site in, how do you pronounce that? Dnipro, used to manufacture missiles and other armaments, had been hit.
Hence the 3 hours of explosives. Yeah.
So he described the attack as a test, which was successful because the target was reached.
It didn't blow up at launch. That's happened before.
Yeah, or end up going haywire like some of North Korea's missiles.
Game changer, man.
Yeah,
intermediate game changer.
This is pretty scary stuff. Yeah, that's definitely escalating the war.
Speaking a day later to senior defense officials, he said tests of the missile would continue, quote, including in combat conditions. I guess. When did he say that? Speaking a day later, well, that was a combat condition. Dnipro. Putin's description of the weapon notwithstanding, there seems to be no clear consensus about what it actually is. Ukrainian military intelligence maintains that the missile is a new type of ICBM, intercontinental. That means it can fly from Europe to North America.
Wherever.
Yeah, wherever. But that kind of thing takes a trajectory. So you'll notice it, and that's what would sound the nuclear alarms across the United States. You'd notice that trajectory going up in space and coming down. Yeah. New type of ice beam known as Keter, which translated is cedar. It sounds
Cedar.
Keter, cedar.
Hazelnut. I mean,
Hazel
I don't get
tree.
it.
Yeah, I don't. These kind of trees. They name them after. Well, they're sticks. Long missiles that are going. Yeah.
Interesting.
They say it was traveling at Mach 11 and took 15 minutes to arrive from the launch site, more than 1,000 kilometers away. That's not 621,000 miles. That's 1,000 kilometers. It's 1,600 miles. 1.6. Yeah.
Okay.
In the Astrakhan region of Russia. 621,000. That'd be the sun, man.
Put that out there. Maybe we'll get some comments.
They said the missile was equipped with 6 warheads, okay, each with 6 submunitions. So that's 36, projectiles, right? This assumption is backed up by BBC Verify's examination of video footage of the strike. Most of it is blurry or poor quality, but it clearly shows 6 flashes against the night sky, each comprised of a cluster of 6 individual projectiles.
So I wonder if some of the people that are like moon landing deniers are denying this happened as well.
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah. I mean, what's the deal? This obviously happened. How could you have gotten that on some kind of footage? Were you waiting for it?
No, it could be like a GoPro, like on somebody's car, and then
somebody just happened to see it.
Yeah, like they're driving down the road and boom, I would defecate myself.
Yeah,
if I saw that.
Yeah, this is pretty scary.
It's definitely not UFOs. If the 6 flashes and then inferno.
Yeah. So if Putin's description is correct, the missile is at the upper edge of the definition of hypersonic. Few things can achieve this.
We've done some segments on hypersonic. We have
talked about that. And who has said they have hypersonic? China?
Yeah, all
Russia?
The big players. Yeah, United States. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we've got stuff that is
hypersonic. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Speed is important because the faster a missile travels, the quicker it gets to target, obviously. The quicker it gets to target, the less time a defending military has to react.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Ballistic missile generally gets to a target by following an arching path up to or up into the atmosphere, and a similar one down towards its destination.
Makes sense.
Yep. But as it descends, it picks up speed and gains kinetic energy, and more kinetic energy gives it more options.
Yeah. Like surgical. Go deep.
Yeah. So this allows it to maneuver down towards the target by performing some kind of defending wriggle that makes interception by surface-to-air missile systems, such as Ukraine's U.S.-built Patriot defense missile system, particularly difficult.
That could be a wobble.
That would be a wobble. This is not good.
But now you wonder. I guess you wouldn't need precision if you've got 6 submunitions going off, each with 6 in there. The wobble wouldn't matter because you're blanketing a big area.
Nearly 80% of the missiles fired by Russia have been intercepted by Ukraine. An extraordinary figure.
That's good.
That's a high
for a defender. Yeah.
But these faster speeds of ballistic missiles are intended to try to bring that percentage down. So are these things launched from a mobile?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. The picture I saw was this big old truck that had a big old
like a trailer
missile
on it.
Yeah. No
trailer, just a truck.
Just a truck, and then the thing comes up like this. And
so that's scary. Yeah. So they're. It would be hard to pinpoint where those things
mobile,
are, right?
Yeah. Where are they coming from? Yeah.
So satellite imagery or drone imagery is going to have to be really, really good to locate these things and attack them before they launch. Right?
Yeah. Well, it'd be constant vigilance. There's no taking breaks, because 15 minutes, that's your coffee break right there, or your union break.
Yeah. I mean, but that's what we paid these guys, right, to do. And that's why they need to be military.
Yeah.
Military, people that are surveillance.
Air defense, Patriot.
Yep. And that's why we need to pay them more money for this kind of stuff, because they need to really do their due diligence to
those Patriot missiles are like a couple million per missile.
Yeah.
They're pretty expensive.
I wonder what this thing costs.
I don't know.
Okay.
But I can tell you one thing. You can't spell badass without ADA, air defense artillery. Boom.
Okay.
What do you think about that one? And I did say Ash.
I heard
Okay.
it.
Russian military expert Ilya Kramnik told the newspaper Izvestia it is like, that sounds like investing. It is likely that the new missile, whose development has been classified until now, is at the upper end of medium-range missiles. It is likely that we are dealing with a new generation of Russian intermediate-range missiles with a range of 2,500 to 3,000 kilometers, 1,500 to 1,800 miles, and potentially extending to 5,000 kilometers, 3,100 miles. But not intercontinental, like Antarctica to Asia. He says this could put almost the whole of Europe within range, definitely, but not the U.S. unless they were put in Cuba, right?
Yeah,
or Venezuela,
or they're on a ship,
or they're on a ship.
You know that.
Oh,
and we
yeah.
had those ships that were hanging out in Cuba, right? For
Oh,
a while,
yeah.
Russia had those ships, nuclear subs, right? Even though they were denuclearized, they said. But how do you know that? So
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of options for this thing. This is very, very scary. I keep using that word, but it is.
So as an aside, I watched the show, the Apple TV show For All Mankind, which is like a alternate reality where the Soviet Union is still alive and functioning in space race, and so they've got a settlement on the moon. They're planning a settlement on Mars, and they use nuclear to power the stuff on the moon and stuff. But you won't launch nuclear from like Edwards Air Force Base, or because if there's an explosion, it just destroys. You got to launch from the sea. Very interesting
For safety purposes.
For safety purposes, and the rocket is in the sea. You can just see the tip, and then when it goes off, you start seeing the rocket come out of the water.
Like from a sub.
No, those are too big to put on a sub.
Oh.
They just like stand it up with like ballast and stuff, and then pull the trigger, and boom, it goes. So that's how, not necessarily from a ship, set it up with ballast and stuff, back off, and boom, let it go. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Because that's huge rockets.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was an aside. It is obviously equipped with a separating warhead with individual guidance units, end quote, Kramnik added. He suggested that it could be a reduced version of the Yars-M missile complex, which is an ICBM.
Okay. So, military analyst Vladislav Shurgin, you're killing me, told Izvestia that the Oreshnik
That's a lot of words.
capable of overcoming any existing modern missile defense system. It could also destroy well-protected bunkers at great depths that you were talking about earlier, right? Mm-hmm. Bunker buster, without using a nuclear warhead, he said. Although there is no evidence of underground facilities being destroyed at the Dnipro plants. Another Russian analyst, Igor Korunchko, you killed me, told TASS news agency the missile had multiple independently guided warheads, adding that the practicality simultaneous arrival of the warheads at the target was extremely effective. Russia's short-range ballistic missiles have been one of the more potent threats to Ukraine in this conflict, he said. Faster, more advanced systems would increase that in order of magnitude.
And just think about that, what he just said. 36 munitions on target. That is, you don't have to put a plane in the air and have all those drops. You just 15 minutes. Boom. It's a game changer. I'm telling you, it's a game changer.
So what do?
We start testing in Kwajalein Atoll from Edwards and launch these hyperballistics and see if we can stop them with a Patriot system or stop them with some lasers, right? Start a fit like Reagan.
Yeah, Star Wars. Right?
Yeah. Strategic. What did he call it? Strategic arms reduction.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they wanted to use lasers, and Russians said no because we're working on this and we don't want you to destroy it.
Yeah. We need to get ahead of the game on this one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We need some smart people out there to get ahead of the game if they're not doing it already.
Doge, Vivek, and Elon, they're working on it.
Yeah.
Waste, fraud, and abuse.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, folks.
Stay safe.
Thank you. Tomorrow's not the Sabbath, so don't enjoy it. because today's Tuesday.
Thanksgiving Eve tomorrow.
I'm back on. Oh yeah, Thanksgiving Eve, and we'll be broadcasting on Thanksgiving. We will put out a segment. All right, folks. Thanks and have a great day.
Take care.